Iran says at least 73 people killed, 40 wounded in blasts at ceremony honoring slain general.
Here's a summary of the article.
Dubai, United Arab Emirates, 2 explosions minutes apart Wednesday in Iran targeted a commemoration for a prominent general slain in a U.S. drone strike in 2020, killing at least 103 people and wounding at least 141 others as the Middle East remains on edge over Israel's war on Hamas in the Gaza Strip. No group immediately claimed responsibility for what Iranian state media called a terroristic attack shortly after the blasts in Kerman, about 820 kilometers southeast of the capital, Tehran. While Israel has carried out attacks in Iran over its nuclear program, it has conducted targeted assassinations, not mass casualty bombings. Sunni extremist groups including the Islamic State group have conducted large-scale attacks in the past that killed civilians in Shiite-majority Iran, though not in relatively peaceful Kerman. Iran has multiple foes who could be behind the assault, including exile groups, militant organizations and state actors. Relatively unknown in Iran until the 2003 U.S. invasion of Iraq, Soleimani's popularity and mystique grew after American officials called for his killing over his help arming militants with penetrating roadside bombs that killed and maimed U.S. troops. Otherwise, Kerman largely has been untouched in the recent unrest and attacks that have struck Iran.
This post received a score of 5,700, with an upvote ratio of 95%. Here are the top comments in response to this article.
It could legitimately be like 20 different groups of people responsible.
Including Iran.
Well, they did accidentally shoot down a civilian airline in response to the same general's assassination by the US, and then 56 people were trampled to death at the same guy's funeral.
The 56 deaths at the funeral always got to me. Like, when trying to mourn one man we have caused 56 times more death. What is this?
Remember, for the Iranians a funeral with less than 50 deaths is considered a dull affair.
Fucking god-tier reference.
The use of a secondary explosive suggests terrorists seeking a high body count. There are so many radical fringe groups, mercenary outfits and religious cults in that region that finding the culprit will be difficult.
Those types of groups are usually climbing over each other to claim responsibility.
I wonder if anyone has claimed responsibility yet. We will probably know more in a day or so from an official press release or maybe even a reprisal attack. It's difficult for the average citizen to try and reason out these acts of violence.
Damn. Someone really wants a war in this region. Who benefits?
Russia. More likely China. Having the US distracted would allow them to take Taiwan fairly easily and secure the fabs, making everything involving tech more expensive.
There is no take Taiwan fairly easily universe. The United States has 11 carrier groups and we'd have no reason to deploy all 11 to the Red Sea even in the case of a full-scale war with Iran. China would be signing up for WWIII, which doesn't mesh at all with any foreign policy we've seen them engage in thus far.
Plus, assembling an invasion force would be a massive undertaking. It would be impossible to conceal that.
Impossible to conceal, impossible to do on super short notice.
And impossible to do with China's current sea lift capacity. Their ships would be eaten up by Taiwanese and American submarines, missiles and fighter bombers. The U.S. Navy would quickly establish air superiority over the Taiwan Strait.
Yikes. That's going to escalate things a bit in the region. Feel like the Middle East is building up for a broader war here at some point, unfortunately.
Tensions will rise, but a conventional war is unlikely as the power balance is so asymmetrical. Iran knows it will lose a conventional war against Israel and the US. They will keep propping up their proxies in Lebanon, Yemen and Gaza to keep the pressure up on Israel, but will not risk a direct confrontation.
That is probably true for Iran, but I'm not so sure Israel is on board.
This video was automatically created by Reddit to speech. The article and comments in this video were selected from Reddit according to their upvotes, and any paraphrasing was performed by smmry.com, without any human intervention.